All right, we are back with the party ready to traverse down a corridor.
A what?
A corridor.
Yeah, you broke up then.
It
I
sounded
did.
like your voice cracked.
I'm sorry.
You're
It sounded
fine
like
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Can you send a shift click? Shift click us to center us where the start point is on the map?
Ah, yes. Am I on the right?
Thank you.
Yep. So that move you guys to it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you got your tokens there, easy to get access to as well.
Do we want to send Cannon ahead to scout?
Okay. It's a fairly large corridor, long corridor. It's descending at an angle, not terribly steep, but it's not shallow either.
It's descending.
Yes.
Well, yes, we're the top of the asteroid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yes, there's a little thing next to the corridor that says 1 square is 20 feet, by the way.
Yeah, I was looking at that and then I was like, oh, I was going to just see if you got the scale on the map right for that.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I took the time to do that. So it's quite long. He is going to head down it. All right, Leva. You send Tan down the corridor. How far ahead do you want him to scout?
Are there, I forget, are there any doors there?
You're not seeing anything. I mean,
Is there any, let's say, is there any way of describing something like a second light or the third light or something like that?
not really, because you don't quite get that sort of communication from Tan.
So, I tell him to just slowly go ahead. I don't tell him a specific distance or anything. I just tell him to slowly go ahead.
Okay. He heads down. How long do you want him to go then?
I want him to go
Like in terms of time?
until he actually sees something, anything.
So you could be traveling for like 2 hours. And that's how far away it would be.
Well, we would follow, wouldn't we? Slowly.
So we'd follow.
Within sight distance.
Yes.
So you're gonna stay in sight distance of him.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't want him to go too fast because if he sees something at the very last moment, I want him to be able to stop, like a trap or anything.
He ain't going to be able to... The traps will work differently for him.
Yeah, and
That's why I said anything unusual, he should stop.
he may not be able, like, to a certain extent, he's not necessarily going to recognize the same sorts of things that you are. In terms of traps. Like, a pressure plate to him probably would not seem unusual.
Would he
And
even...
Because he might not
Okay.
notice it, it might not seem unusual, and it might not trigger for him because he doesn't weigh very much.
Okay.
So he could just, it might be that he just, runs along over it, unconcerned, unnoticing, and then you guys just walk right into it. So
Well,
when it comes to trying to find traps, I will tell you right now, Tayan is not going to be your best choice for doing so.
I realize that. I have no problems with that. But what I want him to do is to stop at any unusual thing that he can see. So he may, if he looks around and he sees nothing but floor and walls and ceiling, and all of a sudden he sees something different that could be a pressure plate, but he doesn't know, but he just sees something different, I want him to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe if
Okay.
he sees a doorway or something.
That's why I said anything unusual, I want him to stop. Be it a door, be it on the floor, be it on the ceiling.
What's
Anything.
unusual to him is different to us.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean that we should just trust in his understanding of it. It just means that I want him to stop as soon as he sees something unusual.
Okay. He travels ahead. Note that he goes a lot faster. Even his normal pace is significantly faster than Higgimus. So, you guys would probably have to like run to actually keep up with him if you're trying to, unless you're specifically telling him to go very, very slow.
I tell him to go very, very slow.
Okay.
I told him before too.
All right. Sorry, I was just trying to think of how he'd react to anything that he sees. Okay. All right, you guys are travel down the corridor for a little bit, trying to keep him in sight, and after a bit of time, maybe 5 minutes of traveling down this corridor, he does stop, and he conveys to you that something smells wrong up ahead.
Okay. I tell the others, hey, there's something that smells wrong to him ahead. And
Okay.
it stops. So we should be careful. Well, once we catch up to him, we should be careful.
Okay, so he's going to stop, and you're going to catch up to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we smell anything?
No, but you do see what appears to be some sort of yellowish substance covering the floor and walls up ahead.
Right, I say to Lever, get him back here.
Okay.
That's sulfur.
Yellowish stuff?
Yellowish, yeah.
Sulfur, isn't it? Or am I just thinking too meta?
You're not smelling
could-
the
Is it like-
sulfur.
Is it
That
like
could be some.
sprayed all over the walls and all over, or is it like on the floor or on the ceiling?
It's not entirely covering. I mean, it's patchy.
How does Tayan describe the smell?
He doesn't. You just get the feeling from him that he doesn't like it.
Okay.
It's an odd smell, like a foul smell. What's
It's
that
wrong.
smell?
It's wrong. It's not
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
The
that
yellowish
looks
substance does appear to be kind of fuzzy.
Does it seem to like jiggle or move possibly?
Not as far as you can tell.
Can I would herbalism help here in figuring out what it is?
If you went up and
Okay.
sampled it.
I'm sorry?
If you went up and sampled it.
Oh.
I wouldn't recommend that. I'm trying to
No.
think of.
That might be some sort of creature.
My character would not know about whatever they're called,
Molds.
jello or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hold on. Am I
Probably.
actually coming across kind of bad for you guys? Are you having trouble understanding me?
I can
No.
hear you.
No, it was occasionally I was noticing it. I
Let
was
me-
wondering if it was just me.
Well, let me disconnect and reconnect to the voice chat then.
Okay.
So I'll be right back in just a second. Okay. Do I sound better?
Just the
Yeah,
same as
yeah.
before.
Same as before. I was
Okay.
just saying it was occasionally.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't hear it on my end, so and
Yeah.
viewers won't hear it either because they're picking up my local recording of my voice, not anything else. And I haven't had any problems with your voices, so.
Hmm.
I was
didn't
gonna
notice it.
ask, would my character know about puddings and things like some oozes and such?
Not really.
Does it move,
Okay.
or is it just a covering?
It is some sort of fuzzy covering on the walls and floor. It's not entirely covering the floor. It might be
Throw a
possible to
stone at
very
it.
carefully walk between it.
I think we could try setting light to it.
And where's the
That
smoke
will
gonna go?
let people. The smoke is gonna come back right towards us, and two, that will look and that will alert people of our presence.
Well, and the thing is that if we set a little fire to it, then we won't see the way to go through it anymore because the smoke will cover that.
That's
Someone
true.
throw a stone at it. See if it reacts to it. Try not to make too much noise. Like throw it like reasonably low to the ground, so it won't have much of a bounce.
So you know what? I throw a stone into it, a sling stone,
Let me see if I've got any of that dried meat left.
a sling bullet.
Okay, well, Leva's gonna throw a sling bullet, so,
Yeah,
ahead and
like
give me an
rolling it
attack
along
roll.
the ground, kind of like into it.
Yeah, because the ground is sloped, so you can just roll it right into it.
Sling bullets don't roll.
Down.
Yeah, I throw it into it.
It's gonna go thud.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
You just pass it to someone who can.
Roll 1d20. No, she said she's doing it, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
Did it just do something? Just a moment.
You're not attacking it though.
Listen to the
You
GM.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna, but
Okay,
it's not-
there is absolutely no bounce at all to your sling bullet.
Wow.
It lands smack dab in the center with a very, very, very soft thud. Almost inaudible. And nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
I got a question. It's not completely. Is there like a path through the stuff?
It's a path-ish. Not the easiest of paths to traverse. But
Could I get through it easily with tumbling?
you would probably have an easier time with a high dexterity of not touching
Does
anything.
someone have like a long rope? Not rope, something long and sturdy.
about-
Like a
Right.
large stick.
I
What
have
about-
a 10-foot pole.
You can't be carrying that with you, surely.
Higgimus has a
Not that.
Higgimus has a pole that breaks down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
it's
I
just-
bought another. I bought one too. 'Cause like
If
that,
I
the-
get across, well, there's still a door in front of me, so.
No, there's no door in front of you that you can see.
Oh,
never
so
said
if I get
anything about
across and I can extend out the pole to them, and then we use the pole as like a guideline so people won't trip up.
I have a dexterity of 18.
So do I,
Okay.
and I've got tumbling and stuff, so there's an extra chance I won't trip. Maybe.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to go through,
Braxon's going to sneak forward, and he's going to find some of that dried meat he had from before, and just rub the dried meat on the floor to see whether it dissolves meat on contact.
so you're going to rub it into the fuzzy yellow substance.
Yeah.
Okay.
With hand.
You rub off some of this fuzzy yellow substance onto this meat. You probably aren't going to want to eat this meat anymore, and you see no
Oh, definitely not.
reaction.
No reaction.
Okay, doesn't look dangerous to me.
You can do herbalism on it if it's not dangerous so far.
Well, yeah, but you have to get up and sample it. Like, scrape some off and look at it and stuff.
Does
I
it?
looked
Yeah,
at-
well,
The cover on Braxon's meat and say, I'm not prepared to eat that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't intending to eat it. I wanted to see whether it started dissolving
No,
the meat.
Sample it for herbalism, you see.
I'm sorry, were you going to do something, Leva, or are you just talking about that meat?
I mean, a sample in what way? Cut some off and look at it, or,
Yeah,
or...
scrape some up with a knife blade or a dagger blade and examine it close up.
All right, I scrape some off with a knife.
I also do
In
some
fact,
if she
I
passes me along.
put it into a vial.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an herbalism check, Leva, since you started doing it first.
What's that? That's a D20 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it appears to be some sort of moss. It's unusual in that it's yellow rather than green, but as far as you can tell, it's fairly normal moss.
Space moss.
It just happens to be grown here.
Hey people, it looks like it's just normal moss.
Hey, Higgimus, wanna try some? Could be an exotic spice.
I don't think that moss
My
makes
character's jesting.
spices at all.
This is space moss.
Okay, Braxon's going to try and step on the stepping stones through the moss, or the holes in the moss.
All right, go ahead and
Don't
give
you want me
a,
to do that first?
Dexterity check. He said that he's going to do it. Too late.
14, right.
What's your-
Dexterity. Just looking.
Oh, I think your dexterity is 15.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, you pass through without stepping on any of it just fine.
Right,
I
okay,
guess
so
I guess I should try to pass through then.
If you
Braxon's
want.
going to take up guard on the far side.
I mean, are you going to try to walk through without stepping on any of this moss, Ockar?
That seems like the best course of action.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dexterity check then.
Damn it.
All right, you step on some moss, and it feels just like stepping on any other moss that you've ever encountered.
Does it smell? It smells strong, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, now that you're scraping some of it off and stuff like that, it smells very mossy.
Is there like a strong
it's
scent, like
little
something
bit
can
off.
smell it?
It's a little bit off. It's not like moss that you've ever smelled before, but it doesn't smell foul.
Is it dead, so
No.
to speak? It's living moss.
Yeah.
Braxton's going to call back.
After I see Ockar step on it and nothing happens, I start laughing, like, oh god.
Braxton's going to call back.
Like, well, that was a bit of a waste of time. Let's get going.
Sure. I narrow my eyes and step right for it.
Braxton's going to call back. One of you might want to give Tane a ride over this.
Well,
Yellow
Tane
might look good on him.
is in my backpack unless he's out and walking around.
Well, you didn't say that you put him in there, but if you wanted to put him in there, that's perfectly fine by me. I mean, he was basically,
At our feet.
yeah.
He was waiting for us because I told him to stop. So since he doesn't like it, I put him into my backpack.
Okay.
How heavy is he anyway?
Not very heavy.
Okay.
Half size cat, maybe. Half weight.
Well, I'm getting close to my weight limit, so even a half-sized cat might take me over.
I'm not gonna worry about that.
No.
Besides, you can always put him down if he does get heavy. So
We got other people who can carry it as well.
Alright.
Move, rather.
So
Yeah, of course.
you're just gonna move through and not even care about it.
No, because I'm not certain. That was one step, but it wasn't just stomping all over the moss.
Oh, he got a pretty good solid step right in the middle of it, and nothing happened.
I'm gonna go across.
I mean, if anyone wants to try and be careful, just roll a dexterity check. Otherwise,
Alright.
just continue on.
I'm trying to be careful.
All right, Leva, you
narrow.
practically dance through that stuff, not even coming close to touching any of it.
That's
I don't
Tate's
pass.
influence.
All right,
I passed.
Higgimus, you smack dab on it with your big boots, and again, it's like stepping on any other moss. Maybe a little bit slippery kind of thing, but not enough to make you actually slip and fall.
So this
gonna
wasn't
wipe it
edible
off.
moss, or is it edible moss?
It's a plant. It's edible. I don't know if you want to eat it. I don't know that it would be very tasty. But you could try it if you want.
Does it show any signs of having been trampled upon?
Too late now.
Yeah, it's a little bit late now. There was a path-ish through it, but moss grows, so it's possible that there was a path through it that has gotten grown a bit or something like that. But
Okay.
no one, like if Yeldin had done a tracking check first, he might have gotten some information, but he didn't.
Okay.
The
So
more you
I let Graham back down afterwards,
Okay.
and I ask him to continue the same way as before. If anything unusual turns up, stop. And if anything dangerous turns up, turn around and run back to us.
Okay.
And walk slowly, just to cover all bases.
All right. You send him down ahead, and he conveys back to you that there is a branch in the pathway, that there are two ways to go, and he's waiting for you to let him know which way to go.
I tell him to wait.
Okay.
Deja vu.
Are we? Can you
I guess we
follow a
catch up.
bit more of the path here?
Yep, I'm going to in a second. You're going to catch up to him?
I think so.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go ahead and reveal. And the thing is that this corridor here that you're seeing is not fully to scale of the entire thing. This is just like the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you catch up, and you can see that there is an opening here. Let me actually use a different tool. There we go. So you're advancing down, and you can see that the corridor turns. Am I on the right thing? Yeah. It turns and goes a little bit that way, and there is a branch that way. You're not like at the intersection yet. That's what you see as you're coming up.
All right. Braxon's going to whisper back, Yeldin, Lafdul, do you want to check this out, or do you want me to go forwards?
Well, we
It's
could
gonna matter.
technically get Tayan to scout out each direction to see if there's something down.
I just realised our runner isn't going to be able to find us because he doesn't even know what a cave is.
Yeldin found the cave and then went back to you guys. I'm fine to say that one of you guys was able to convey it to the crew on the ship, should anything come up.
How dark is this cave? Will charcoal leave marks visible?
Well, you've got infrequent continual light spells on the wall.
Yeah, but I know, but we're coming up on that divide. If someone needs to try and find us, they don't know whether to go left or right, so I need to mark which way we go if we go in a direction. Is it visible? Actually, no, Higgimus has got chalk, so that's...
Yeah, chalk is better.
I'm gonna. I figure we get as Clever, like we get Tayan to scout out both directions of a distance, see which way is the more likely way we want to go. Because we want to get to the ship first, I think.
Yeah.
Do we actually know where we are in relation to the other cave?
No.
Just gone down into an asteroid.
Yeah.
Well, if someone had the right proficiency, they could probably make an educated guess.
If you had a dwarf with
None
you,
of
you might
us-
be able to. You'd have a better idea. But then again, you also didn't see exactly where the other entrance was.
Yeah, we can't extrapolate.
Well,
Is there a difference between the two branches? Is, for example, one going up and one going down, or do they look exactly the same?
You're not at them yet, so you don't know from there, and Tan can't accurately convey that sort of information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can just finish getting up to the crossway.
Well,
and then we'll
if
decide from there.
Lafdul and Yeldin aren't gonna overtake Braxon, then he's gonna
No.
sneak along to the corner and probably come up this wall so he can look down this corridor,
Okay.
and then pop over to this wall if that first corridor is free, and then come here so he can look down the second corridor.
Okay, you see that the corridor continues along, and then you're going to pop to the other side and look in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still looking behind.
Alright, so that's what you see. You can see in that room some beds. It's pretty dark in that room. You do see on the far wall an unlit torch.
Yeah. All right, Braxton's going to pop back a little bit, and he's going to make hand gestures in there.
Is it if it's dark? I tell Tayan to have a quick look. Well, to go to the entrance of that room.
Okay.
Is there any, and see if there's any people in there?
Yes.
What I
and
forgot to say is Braxton's got that lantern, hasn't he?
You never
So-
said that you were actually
It's
using
not
it.
lit it. We don't need
Yeah.
to. That's why.
It's magical, but he'll have it shuttered because it's light.
Yeah, I mean, there's light. There's a little bit of light coming into the room from the corridor because there's infrequent lights, continual light spells along here. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's patches of darkness in between, but it's not total darkness
Yeah.
and everything like that.
No, I was only telling you from the point of the view that if Braxton opens a lantern, it's going to give his position away.
You never told me that you were actually using it, so I assume
he
that
hasn't.
we're not.
why would you use it anyway? Because it's,
We've got light in here. We don't need it. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have needed
Yeah,
it.
you're
so
not
you
using
wouldn't have
it right
used
now
it.
because you didn't say you were using it.
No, but he's got it with him. He's not using it.
Yeah.
Right.
so
so,
I asked him
Like
to
it's in your
go to
backpack
the
right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, fair enough.
I asked Tayan to go to the entrance and check around to see whether anything moves in there.
He reports back that nothing appears to be moving, and it smells very strongly. Of like,
It's,
Can he?
you're getting just the
Just
the impression of humanoid creatures. So, I mean, which makes sense considering that there are beds. They sleep there a lot.
can he hear
I
anything?
He can hear something farther down the corridor, but he can't convey to you what it is. I mean, there's sounds from further down
Okay.
Are we able to hear
this way. No.
So Braxton's going to turn back to the others, and he's going to point to himself, and he's going to gesture to the room.
Okay. You're gonna go in.
Yeah, well, he's just letting everybody know he's going to go in to see whether anyone's going to say any sort of stopping gesture. And if no one seems to be doing that, he's going to go in ready to clobber stuff.
Well, actually, I would make a stopping gesture and I would point towards Lafdul.
Lafdul's at the back, looking behind at the moment. I can if people
I
want me
could,
to.
well, Lafdul or Yeldin. Either one can walk quietly, much more quiet than you can, Braxon.
Okay, Braxton does an okay gesture and stays
I
in
guess
position.
I'll do a move silently and see if I can look in there and see if I see anybody.
All right. 28. You said.
They're asleep. Yeah, 28 for my move silently.
Okay. All right. You move to. So you're gonna look in and try to get a full view of the room, right?
I'm basically seeing if there's anybody sleeping in said room.
Yep.
Without trying to wake them up.
All right. So looking in, you see a bunch of beds, and they're not made. They're untidy. There's some personal effects, garments, a few little bags, stuff like that. But nothing. None of the beds are occupied or anything like that. The ceiling in this room is higher than the corridor, so it's about 15 feet high. Corridor is about 10 feet high, a little bit above Higgimus's head.
Okay. I give the all clear sign and tell everybody, get people to keep moving forward.
Okay.
Well, Braxon wants to have a quick look in the room.
All right.
And he says to Yeldin, Yeldin, can you see if there's any signs of occupancy, how recent people were in this room?
Do I have to roll for that?
There's
Or
no
is
dust on anything. I mean,
I looked at him. It's fairly recently, and there's no dust on anything, and I won't be able to tell how anything. Other than that, there's obviously people have been living in here.
Okay.
Or something like that. It would have to be like a few days since somebody last used it.
all right, what are you guys going to do next?
Right,
Well,
so
I figure,
do you want to continue with the same order march, or do you want to take a scout position?
the same order's fine.
We did hear
Taeing
noises
scouting.
ahead, though, didn't we? Unlike before.
No, Taeing heard noises. Whether or not Leva said anything about that is a different story.
Yeah. You guys are still back in the corridor for the most part. Yeldin and Braxon are now in that room, peeking around.
I say, let's just keep going. There's no reason
Okay.
to stop here.
So Braxon's not going to disturb any of the beds because just in case we want to sneak off, he doesn't want people knowing we were here. He's going to go back to the others and hold up 8 fingers and do a sleep-in gesture. Like,
I nod.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I tell you, Tayan to continue down the corridor.
Okay.
Same requirements as before.
He reports back that there's another branch in the pathway.
Okay.
All right, let's go to that branch.
Braxton's following along slowly.
So am I.
So you move a little bit further in,
Yep.
and you can see another branch in the pathway.
I guess I'll do the same. If we get Taeing to look in the room, and then I'll do a follow-up.
Well, Braxton's going to come to this side here, the left side, and try to look down this corridor. And then, if that's clear, he's going to come up to this position here and try to look down here.
Okay. So the corridor seems to be going around. It goes a little bit further and then makes another turn. Over there on the left. And let me see.
Braxton's looking around all these corridors with his mace, with his warhammer at the ready to clobber people.
Okay. And that's what you can see down there. There's no actual room.
Okay.
I tell Tayan to go here.
So,
Okay.
Yeah,
He gets down
Braxton
there,
reports.
and there's another
Well,
branch.
closer to the wall, but down to this corner here.
Yep. He reports back that there's another branch, and he waits for you to give him more instructions.
I'm gonna head down
I-
this way and take a peek around the corner.
Okay. Yeldin, you can definitely hear some sounds coming from up ahead. it's a little bit difficult to say exactly what they are. Let's see. What would you be able to see? Just like that, I think. So from down here, you hear noises, movement. Not sure what, what else. It's not enough to really be able to tell what exactly that is. But there's some noises coming from that direction. Well, what do you guys want to do?
I think
I say we head that way.
I think this part here might actually just be a connection between the two corridors.
Yeah, I think it might. Well, I think we're going to have to follow. We either hang left or we hang right and follow the left wall, or follow the right wall. What I mean by that is if we go right, we keep taking all the right turnings, or if we go left, we go.
If there's noise down here, then we are better off following this wall here. And because then we can look around the corner from here, and we can see down to the right where there's no noise yet.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And we got two angles to attack from that side as well. We got a top side and the bottom.
Yeah.
Assuming that it is an actual area that we can go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeldin, could you check out the other corridor?
All right, I'll do another move silently check and check out both the other corridor.
Okay. So, did you want to go back, like here and then down, or what? Where are you going to stop? Let me put it that way. All right. You're drawing. Well, Ockar's drawing arrows. I'm not sure where Yeldin is going to stop. Okay, I can't hear what you're saying. If you're saying something.
Right where I pinged. I forgot I'm on push to talk now.
And I was trying to use my arrow to help show where he was pinging.
Okay. All right, so you can see that does connect up, and you can see in like this. Actually, not quite. Let's see. Ah, shoot. All right, fine. You can see in like that.
So that looks okay.
I point out that this way looks like another bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So I suggest that we send Tane in there to check to see if there's anybody sleeping in there ahead of us.
He wouldn't know whether there's anybody sleeping in there. He just knows where the people are moving around. But okay, I sent Dayan to the entrance to this post, let's say to here, to look whether there are people walking around.
I'm sorry, I missed where you pinged.
I'm sending Dayan here.
Okay.
And have him look inside this potential room to see whether people are moving around in there.
The impressions you get from him are basically the exact same impressions you got from the previous room.
Can you hear snoring is a better question.
He doesn't report any. You don't get the impression of any sounds. I mean, he's letting you know that he's hearing sounds coming from the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't. He's not worried about this room. Like there's
just sand in that room.
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm gonna move in there and have a look around then.
All right. Okay, so you're gonna move into the entrance and just kind of get a full view of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
See if I spot anybody sleeping and such.
All right, give me just a second.
Braxon's going to be ready to rush in.
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Yeah, and he's going to stay back a little bit so he doesn't give the game away, but...
All right, so you can see a large number of cots, and you can see that
That's
there's
a
another
lot.
entrance to the room on the other end. Like the other one, the beds are all untidy. There are some personal effects, some clothes scattered about, that sort of thing.
After I see that, I let people know that there's 20 more beds, bringing the total up to 28.
That's
Okay,
a lot.
this room is significantly larger, both in terms of the dimensions that you can see, and the height. The ceiling is significantly higher than the other one.
Where's the party?
We are in the second cave.
As far as I know, everyone else is back up here, because no one else has said that they're advancing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I
I'm
never
going
said they
to
were.
I'm going to
Oh.
advance just to up here.
So Braxon would have moved to this position, or maybe a little bit further back to back up Yeldin.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try to stay with Braxon so we can watch each other's backs.
Okay.
Leo is probably here by now.
All right.
I am.
No, I don't-
I'm not actually going out. I'm staying here, and I'm looking in the room. I want to know how big those beds are. Are they as in, are they small beds, like goblin-sized beds? Are they human-sized?
Humans could sleep in them.
So, alright.
No gift-sized beds, though.
They're not like small creatures or anything. They're just humanoids.
Well, I mean, a
sized.
small creature could certainly sleep in one. Higgimus would not be able to sleep in one of those.
So I let people know that there's another 20 beds. That brings up the total number of people that we might come up against 28, which really means we don't want to take them all on at once.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna start moving over to see what's down there. Moving silently, of course.
Down where you're looking at the other end of that bedroom.
No, he's looking at the other corridor that you guys kind of passed up.
Oh, that one. Right.
Okay.
I don't want anybody coming behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a second.
And then I ask Lava to send Taya ahead to scout.
Okay. You can see that the passageway opens up into a large room from your vantage point. You can't really see a large chamber, I should say. You can't see much, but you can see that there is a spiral staircase kind of hanging there. It's not. It's like a. It's not actually built there, like out of stone. It's more hung with chain and wood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ask Lava to send Taya ahead to scout this room.
So you're gonna send him into that room? He's refusing to go alone. He can hear. You can hear a lot more sounds. There's a lot of movement in there now.
Alright,
I don't want him to go here because this is where the noise comes from. I don't want him to stumble over the people there, and I don't think that this is a place where what's it? What is it? Where sleeps are all that common.
They're fairly common space creatures. I mean,
but I prefer. I see there's an exit here. I prefer Tayan to go here.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
good.
he's not going to go into that large chamber alone. He's not going to scout for you in there.
Okay, I'll motion to get this a lot of activity in that room, so we'll leave it alone for now. And
If
then we'll
someone-
head around this way.
But
Good.
I'm not asking him to scout in here. From
Yeah, no. So if Tane doesn't want to scout in there, this possibly means there's actual people there, and we don't want to set off the alarm yet.
Yeah, there's movement in there. I mean, Yeldin, you were close enough that you could hear a lot of movement, a lot of feet moving around, talking, but you can't make it out.
You know, we could just rush in and surprise them right now and start killing.
I
Yeah,
was
but
thinking,
there's still enough room down here.
what's
that
to
we have
stop
the-
us?
I thought this room here was empty, and
It was
all
empty.
the movement was down here.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Let's go in the big bedroom and take a look at the door coming out the big bedroom.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. The same sounds, if you go around to that side, are coming from that entrance. So, reasonable guess, they both connect to the same large chamber.
So there's sound about there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Should we split up and attack from 2 different directions?
Well,
Yeah,
I
well,
think we
can.
should see. I think we should see if we can work out what's in there first. If we, if we get Yeldin or Lafdul to go through the large bedroom and look through the opening, they might get an idea of who's sitting where, what's going on,
Yeah.
and we
That's
can see
true.
whether it's a small number of people or whether there's 28 people there. If it's 28 people, we might want to go back to the ship and bring some crew with us.
I could scout into that room, and this is an idea, hypothetical. I could cast 15
Sanctuary?
foot. No, well, yeah, that as well. Or that. I was thinking of the silence, so I would be perfectly mute, and I would be able to see exactly
Okay.
what's going in it. That's just an idea.
But isn't the
Let
problem with your...
me share you a little bit more information that I probably should have shared with you. It's pretty bright. Because of the position that Yeldin was in, he couldn't see much of that chamber, but he could tell that it was very, very large, and it's very brightly lit.
So,
Okay, so but we still have this corridor that we haven't explored properly. So if we assume that everybody is down here, then we could, in theory, go down this corridor here, at least to the point here, where it looks like it's sort of expanding into a room, and this point here, where it also looks like it's expanding.
That's
At that
true.
point-
Why don't you
I-
have someone look in the room and try to get an idea of what's in there, and then come back and report?
I do
I-
have sanctuary, so
I
that is an
think-
option.
I think we should get someone to go to the bedroom, to this doorway, and look through.
How does sanctuary really work? Does
I
it
agree
really
with that.
keeps you from
Feel?
noticing you or attacking you.
What?
Because this from the sounds of it, this doorway might connect to the same room, so that means that we
Yeah.
might find out more information about the room without us revealing ourselves.
Yeah.
And going here could possibly reveal ourselves.
I mean,
The
the reason
problem-
why I'm saying this is because you guys are making plans about what to do without actually knowing what's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get
Well,
someone to scout it first.
Yeldin, can you please go scout it?
Yeah, I'll go down here.
What's your hide and
and
shadows?
scout-
Brilliant.
28, I believe. I'll double check. Yeah, 28. Hide in shadows? My bad, that's 25.
Okay. All right. All right. So you head up to the exit from the room with all the beds, all the cots, and you can see what the hell? Get on that. So getting up that way, you can see that the entrance goes like that, and you're gonna just scout around, try to get an overview of the whole chamber, correct?
Yeah, without if I think I'm gonna be spotted though, I'll just pull back.
Yeah, you're gonna be very, very careful. All right. So let's see. You could see.
Braxton's going to go to the other end of the room here.
All right, let me just zoom out for a bit so that I can see what you can see. All right, you can get a pretty good view of the entire chamber. It is a very large chamber, and I'll read you a little bit of description about what this chamber is. Once I am able to do that. There we go.
Oh.
I guess we found a giant Scavver.
And in fact, you do see it right there, docked on the large floating dock. All right, so it's a very large chamber, and you see the a metal Scavver shark-shaped thing docked at this dock here, floating there. You see these spiral stairs lead up to hanging wooden bridges up over the height of the shark up near the ceiling, and it's an extremely large room, chamber that's filled with water. So it's a pool. I can't tell how deep it is from where you're standing, but the ladders, the spiral stairs lead up to about 10 feet below the level of the ceiling, and you can see quite a few small figures moving about on both the dock, the ladders up above, and this vessel of some sort, this metal vessel. And there are a pair of doors in the back, hatches that are open right here. And you can see them, appears that they're loading some equipment in as you watch.
I just got a plan.
How many people are there, and is there anybody that can be easily ambushed around the entrances?
Hang on, let's hear Ockar's plan.
Well, hold on. Yeldin has not reported back, so he's getting some more information. He wants to know how many people are here.
Okay, when Yeldin comes back, I'll tell you my plan.
You can see at least a dozen. It's, you're just kind of glancing in. It looks like there's a dozen.
Is there anybody keeping watch or anything like that?
At a glance, doesn't look like it.
Does it look like there's somebody ordering people around?
Not that you can tell, but they appear to be moving with purpose, so perhaps they either got orders or they know what they're doing, they've done this a lot.
All right. Nobody's really keeping watch. No, it doesn't seem like anybody's keeping watch. So
Not specifically, but they're moving about. So if you're right in the doorway, so you haven't been noticed yet. But if you just ran out, then you probably would be.
I'm gonna move this way. I'm gonna say I'm gonna hold up my finger 1 second, come back down this way, and get a look from this angle.
Yeah, but if you go down that way, then you're totally visible from everybody.
You're getting closer to where they are.
I know. I realize that. I'm just trying to, I'm not gonna go right into the doorway.
Okay.
Maybe here and see if I can see part of the room that I couldn't see from the other angle.
Okay. While none of them were specifically keeping watch, they're moving about quite a bit. So at any given point, there's people looking at any which way. And you move down that way, and one of the small figures spots you, points out, and gives a shout of alarm, and
Great.
all of a sudden, everyone starts bustling about, moving about real fast. You see some of the figures that were up on the platforms up above. They grab onto some ropes and start sliding down, and they're just like all rushing towards the vessel right now.
All rushing towards the vessel.
Well, there goes my plan. My plan was to bring in the wasp, to ambush, and then we run in. But there goes that. So, fine. Everybody run in.
I was gonna say, the rushing towards the ship